Very good. Welcome to the Board of Health, Wednesday, February 18th at 5 p.m. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency signed into law on March 29th, 2023. This meeting will be conducted via remote means and in person as long as members of the public can easily access the proceedings in real time and participate remotely. Until further notice, this meeting will no longer be broadcast live, but it may be watched when the show is replayed on YouTube. Members of the public who wish to participate in the meeting may do so in the following manner. In person at the Rope Walk Meeting Room located on the second floor at Plymouth Town Hall. Note that the occupancy limit of the room may reduce the number of attendees that can be accommodated. You can also Zoom remote at townhall-plymouth-ma-us.zoom. You may also send any comments or questions that pertain to a current agenda item to publichealth@plymouth-ma.gov. They will be read on air and answered by the Board of Health as practicable. If time does not permit answers during the meeting, responses will be sent by email and as soon as possible.
A lot of people zooming in again.
I see there are a lot of people. Does everybody have a name up there?
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So we'll call to order. And can we have approval of the minutes from the 4th
I'll make a
of
motion to approve
March?
the minute.
And any questions or concerns, additions, subtractions? Okay. Okay, we'll take a vote.
Who seconded that?
Oh, yeah, she
Yeah.
seconded. Yeah. Fair.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now Kate isn't here, so
is she zooming?
she's zooming.
She's gonna be late.
Yeah, she's not in yet.
Okay, May
Yeah.
and myself, yes. Okay, we're going to start off the meeting with a vote. We have discussed the tobacco regulations many times, and you all saw it the last time, the final edition. Does anybody have anything else they would like to?
Well, I do want to
And-
point out the change that I had sent that Margaret had recommended to say,
Yeah.
which I thought was good to clarify that if there is a sale under 21, they shall lose their permit for that amount of time.
Right.
And then the small, I just feel like the smaller violations, not that I'm for any violation, but you know, there's mistakes that can happen that feel like a shall lose your
Yeah.
permit for 30 days. That seems excessive. So that's where that was changed. The other thing I want to just bring up for discussion was, Barry had mentioned, so there's a definition for tobacco and nicotine products.
Mhm.
So one of the things, I don't know if you want to say, so one of the definitions in a previous model reg, tobacco, the definition of tobacco included nicotine products. This says tobacco and nicotine products. So I don't know, Barry, you
Yeah.
had said that,
It's pretty simple to explain. There's synthetic nicotine, which is not derived from tobacco at all. And that's one of the ways the companies are trying to get around the regulations. So a lot of the vapes and the oral nicotine pouches are not tobacco products.
but they're nicotine.
They are nicotine.
And in the definition of tobacco, it says or nicotine.
Yeah, my concern was, should there be a legal challenge? Somebody could say, well, that's not correct, because synthetic nicotine is not a tobacco product, therefore it's not covered.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the regulations say tobacco or nicotine product, the
Nicotine.
definition is a tobacco or nicotine product. But I know Barry said, like, if the definition says tobacco and nicotine product, and later on in the regulations, it only says tobacco, is that going to be an issue?
yeah, What do you think?
know
I think
yeah.
it could be an issue.
I think it.
Yeah, it could be challenged.
Yeah.
Everywhere in that regulation could be challenged, though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's the intent is known, you know, but like to Margaret's point, like we were very clear about what we added and
Mhm.
I don't know if we need to do it on this round. It's up to the board to decide if we need to add, like, either remove from the definition tobacco or nicotine products so that tobacco covers tobacco or nicotine. Or throughout the regulations where it says tobacco, we write tobacco or
Tobacco or
nicotine.
nicotine.
I think it's gonna be okay. I mean, like
Yeah.
Karen's point, there's gonna be a challenge. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I think we're all kind of guessing because it's never been challenged.
Oh, we could go, would you be comfortable if we went through the document and every time it said tobacco, we do slash nicotine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Then we'll do
that's
it.
okay. So
I
well,
think that
so I'll make a motion to accept the regulations with that change.
Yeah,
Yes,
And then as written.
okay,
okay,
we'll do it.
That's my motion.
so that's your motion.
And
I'll second.
And we'll second. Any more discussion? Are you okay with that there?
Yeah, I think I've seen the tobacco regulations a long time.
Okay, let's vote on it. Same,
Yes,
Yes.
okay. Myself, yes.
Yes,
Okay, and so it is unanimous.
Thanks, Amy. That was
yeah,
all.
thank you guys.
Thank you, yes. That's
Hi.
good. Okay.
should we,
So sorry.
should we re-poll?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
Move
We
on,
voted to move forward with the tobacco.
yes.
Good.
Okay.
We're going to move on to septic variances, 83 Taylor Avenue, Grady Consulting. Hello.
Thank you, Brady Consulting.
Yeah.
The applicant, Kevin O'Sullivan here.
Very good.
This is an existing home at 83 Taylor Avenue, 3 bedrooms. The soils, we had sand, less than 2 minutes an inch. Groundwater at 4 feet by modeling. What we've proposed here, we have a small lot, obviously, down in Menomet here in White Horse Beach. So what we're proposing here is the J50 treatment tank. IA approval allows 3 feet to groundwater based on that. Then a leaching field following that, which we'll be pumping to. In order to put the leaching field in there, we are proposing 6 feet off the nearest lot line. In the rear, 7.5 feet on the sides. With the 3 foot separation of groundwater, the ground comes up about half a foot or so roughly, so almost back to existing grade. It actually fits in there pretty well. We just need relief on the setback to the property.
Okay. Are there any abutters that
Butters were notified, yes.
you're in a butter? Oh, okay. Would you like to come up and talk? Just introduce yourself and,
My name is Alice Baker.
yeah,
I am the chairman of the Minute Village Steering Committee. For the record, I'm here as a direct abutter. I have a couple of questions and concerns. The
from Mr.
consultant
Green. Mhm.
company. On the plot line. Okay. Can I use this here? Okay. Am I correct to determine that this is the plot line? I'm 79. If you look here on your other form, you'll see my property. Like that.
Sure,
And this is the property that's in question, okay? On this plan, this, right here, this is the other party that has a business. Yeah, that's interesting. Is this the property line that you're indicating for 83 Taylor Ave?
It is. The fence is depicted and
I know what the
fence there.
I know what the fence is, I'm talking about the solid line
Yep, so the
that you
property,
have coming down here. At least the outline of 83 that you stated.
it is correct.
It's, okay. Now. On the property, where are you having a leaching field? On this plan?
Leaching field, here's 1, 2, four corners of it, so it's 6 feet off the back lot line, 7.5 feet off the side lot lines.
Okay. That is where I have lost it. Because I don't know, I know that, a lot of the local engineers in White Horse, then, and Plymouth are very familiar with White Horse Beach. This is land court property that we're talking about, okay? And one of the forms that you filled out. You filled out and checked off certain criteria.
Alice,
On
can I
the
just
septic notes.
can I just interrupt you for a second?
I'm sorry,
Can I just interrupt you for a second? Because we're all looking at it too. And you mentioned 79, correct? 79 Taylor Ave?
79?
I'm 79.
I don't even see 79.
Well, I have it right here.
81 is right here, right?
Well, I have it right here. Yeah, let me get it for you.
Okay.
So you're not the other Taylor.
Because,
This is 85.
well, maybe that is.
Makes that 83. Yeah, he's not a direct.
Right, this is from the engineer himself. This property is really right in the traffic.
Okay, so you're not in the butter,
I am here. I am in a butter. I got a butter letter. I'm right next door to him.
but you're not at, okay, so we're
I am in
looking
the
at, right, but you're
I
not
have
on
the
our
letter.
plan.
Pardon me?
You're not, this is the plan that we got from the engineer who
We
shows the
understand.
direct to butters. So you would be here, correct?
Right
It's
here.
81, okay.
Okay.
So on the
My
plan, see,
question is
see
that,
where, hold on a second, see where the stamps are?
Yeah,
That's where the
that's
property
where she is.
Yep, yep,
So there's someone in
There's someone
between.
in between.
yes, there's someone in between.
And just so the board knows too, we had to notify for conservation, which extends that to 100 feet.
oh,
We
okay.
included both the Board of Health notification
Yeah,
and the
Okay,
conservation.
that's fair. And I have received the letter. If you look on septic notes, on the plan that he did. Number 12. No known easements are in the area of the proposed system. Okay, we're talking about land court property on White Horse Beach. There are, you're going back to the 1930s, Annie Baumgarten. When she did the parcels, when she, separated the parcels, she also had to make provisions for the residents to have a deeded right of way. That is in our deeds. Out the back here is what I am talking about. How far, and see, they have to leave 18 feet on a deeded right of way. 9 feet for the Abertangelos and 9 feet for this new property here. But this is in existence, 18 feet. You cannot build on it. You can't put trees on it. You can't put fences on it. You can't do anything to it. That is a deeded right of way.
Right, but
That's
how
not land
is the
court
septic
deeds.
system impacting that?
Well, it's up here, Karen, if you look, up here is have the Abertangelo's fence. There's a small right of way there. I have been working for 50 years.
I don't even see the Angelo's property on this.
Do you see where it says the fence? Right above it. That's
Post and rail
Abertangelo.
fence.
That's
It
Abertangelo.
says it belongs to Agostino Diodato.
No, no, that's right here.
Okay.
No, you can say what you want, but this is land court property. You cannot do anything on that deeded right of way. And back to him, that stockade fence belongs to Abertangelo.
Okay,
Dominic Abertangelo, does not to your data.
well, according
That's on
to,
the other side.
according to the land court plan that the engineers developed with, and they have the page numbers and the plan numbers. Number 83A, which is a
83A.
direct abutter, is owned by Agostino Diodato.
Nope,
Mhm.
nope. It's owned by Abertangelo. Dominic Abertangelo. You can go into the registry of deeds. I've been living there 50 years. I know who is surrounding me. And I'm telling you, out there, there was an 18-foot wide deeded right of way. We've all gone through a lot of this stuff, even with, the plan when Dave Gould was going through all of White Horse Beach, doing all the right of ways. This is a deed on people's deeds. You cannot go out and do anything on that 9 foot. And that's my question. Is he digging there? Is he building there? What is he doing there? Is he going under there putting a leaching field? He can't do that. That's land court, those are the
So
bylaws.
it's
The,
this,
the land court records don't have an easement going through the backyard of this property.
They do, it's deeded, it's on my deed and all the others. That's the
So I
problem
do
with,
believe that you have a
I don't
right of
believe
way
it, it's
to-
on ID.
I'm not interrupting you, I'm gonna ask that you don't interrupt me. Okay, fair enough?
Yeah.
So I do believe that you have an 18-foot right of way to your property. I don't believe that it runs through the backyard of 83 Taylor Avenue.
it doesn't,
So you access your property through the backyard of 83 Taylor Avenue?
it's an access to
You
the deed.
access,
Yes, I do.
you access your property
Yes.
across the backyard of
Yep, I do.
83 Taylor.
I do, that's a
Okay.
deeded
You
in,
access through your backyard?
and Mr. Sullivan knows
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And Mr. Sullivan, wait a minute, Mr. Sullivan knows this because he bought the property off his, people right next door at 81, who's related to him. I've been here 50
so I
plus
think,
years.
I think we need to.
50 plus years, that's a deeded right away for the
Okay,
residents.
stop,
Excuse
stop,
me,
stop,
excuse
point of
me.
order, point of order, we
And
all,
Karen,
everyone,
Karen, I asked him to speak.
you
and
can,
everybody
but
interrupted.
I agree with you. That's why I'm saying, everyone just needs
I
to stop,
came here.
and we're gonna speak one at a time.
Could I?
So,
ask a question?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do we have some
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
Karen, this septic system doesn't meet Title V criteria.
Well, yes,
With
but they're
those-
asking for variance.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for Title V only, for this board's business only,
Yes,
we are only here to
Correct.
approve whether or not this engineered plan
correct.
meets Title V criteria with those variances.
That is your charge.
That is our
That
charge.
is our
So,
charge,
so
not
if
the other
anything
stuff.
else comes up, that is
That is
not
a
up
civil
to
matter.
us.
That
We
is a
would
civil matter.
say,
Mhm.
as the board, our only authority on this is to
Mhm.
look at Title V, decide with these variances,
Mhm.
if we would approve this.
Correct.
Okay,
and now I'm asking,
Yes.
what does the department feel about this?
Well, when we review the plans, we saw that again, I don't even see
Yeah,
Miss Baker
Yes.
on the plan, so I didn't take that into account, that there was any kind of, easement or anything like that, so we would approve the plan because it's, replacing a failed system. So we want a failed system to be removed from Taylor Ave for many reasons. It's the only location that it can go in. It is going before conservation, on March 10th.
Yep.
So conservation will have their time to weigh in on their components of the system. But here tonight, as we always have, conservation can look at it, planning can look at it, all other departments and divisions can look at it. But the charge for the Board of Health is to make sure it's a Title V approved system going in a location that meets Title V criteria.
Karen, I understand that, I do 100%. What my concern is that, let's say, I mean, you approve this, are you approving them going out into that variance, into the deeded right of way? Cause that's land court, and that can never be changed.
Again,
I'm just trying to, or
Right.
does that go to conservation?
right, that would,
that becomes.
or even a civil matter.
Yeah.
That could be a conservation, it could also be a civil matter for land court. We just look at, does this system meet the criteria for Title V, which is a state law? That's what the board is considering.
Okay, but not the actual location of where it sits?
No.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Right, where it sits,
Okay,
right, where it is and what the components are, and does that meet the criteria for a Title V system?
and I don't have a problem with it, I don't have a problem with the homeowners or the septic system at all. What it is that for 50 years with the homeowners who've been there since it was built, has blocked many times that's our deeded right away. So that the residents can get to the beach,
To the beach.
they shouldn't have to
I
go
don't-
and trailer that, that's all I'm trying to explain.
Right.
And I just didn't want this to infringe on that, so I understand I have to go to conservation on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
But that was my concern, because.
I don't see how
on here-
how the septic system would impede on that, Miss Baker, and the reason being is it's going to be in the ground. If this was above ground and perhaps fenced off or something like that, then I would say, yeah, I would be
Right.
concerned too. But this is going to be subsurface in the ground, so it's not going to impede your access to the beach if that has been granted to you through a deed, an easement.
I understand that, but on the, paperwork that he did submit to, this, board, he does have here that there's no known easements in the, and it's an actual deeded right away, it's on all the deeds.
Can I,
Yes,
so to the engineer, when you do the research for this, you go to the registry of deeds and look, is that correct?
These days, it's all available online.
Right, and you didn't see anything in the record that you saw?
It's also surveyed.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, so that's, so we're voting on this as presented to
Correct.
us.
This stamped and signed by our land surveyor as well.
We did have a question from the audience,
Yes,
if the
there's a
board will
question.
entertain.
No, the only thing I wanted to mention was when I talked to Rick originally, the one thing you talked about that everything's below ground is one of the suggestions was an above ground subject. And I asked Rick to go further and find something below ground that we could put in, and it's an additional cost to me to put in the below ground one, just so it doesn't interfere with any walkways or anything else. Everything is absolutely below ground.
Good,
And that's
good.
then that's another,
Yeah, grade's gonna be going back to pretty much what it is today with a
Right.
few inches. It's not gonna impede any access. that
Okay.
exists.
Okay,
question is the leaching field out of that 6 feet? That's my question, because that's what, you don't walk on a leaching field, and we have residents that be walking in and over there. He cannot walk, he has to be back 9 feet. By law, he has to be back 9 feet. My concern is if the leaching field is gonna be there, we're all walking on that. It cannot be blocked up with a fence or anything else. Already, they've got a tree there that's gotta come out of there.
The leaching area is below ground, so.
I understand.
It's,
But is it in that part of the plan, so that when I go before the conservation, I wanna know exactly where that leaching field is? Will you please tell me where the leaching field is
sure, 6 feet off the back lot line.
going out to the right of way?
It's 6 feet off the back lot line.
Is it going out up to the fence to Mr. Mr.
So you're
Evans?
asking me to stay where it is in
Yeah, they
relation
did.
to our. Roughing you don't interrupt me. Okay. Deal?
Can-
6 feet from the back lot line. We don't have any evidence of a right of way that my land surveyor came up with on that, so. It's not gonna impede access. Anybody that walks across there today can continue to walk across there when it's completed.
Okay, I'll get the paperwork from land court showing that everybody has a deeded right of way for that. That's deeded a lifetime. It doesn't
Okay.
go away. It's lien for it.
so I think we need to proceed and vote.
Could I ask a question?
What happens with all due respect, we'll make it very short. Well, if you know White Horse Beach, then you're gonna know what I'm talking about.
I live down there, so I do know what
I've
you're
owned
doing.
my property over 50 years now.
Yes,
And what happens is that residents are getting permits, whether it's through here or conservation. And they're not checking these deeded right of ways, and the residents are getting blocked off from walking, that's deeded to them. You can't infringe on that, there's a bylaw on that. So what I'm gonna have to do is bring the bylaw to conservation, and this is what's happening.
Miss
Mhm.
You want-
Baker,
I can't-
you can walk on a leaching field. Leaching field's going to be
I mean,
several
this-
feet into the ground. So you can certainly, you're not going to, you or anyone else is not going to damage a leaching field by walking on it. If you were going to drive a large truck constantly over that spot, over and over and over and over again, then I'd say, well, yeah, we might wanna talk about that, because I think that's gonna be a problem. But if you're talking about people, pedestrians walking from their homes to the beach, the leaching field's not gonna be impacted by that whatsoever.
Well, I'm gonna go to conservation on this and bring the deeds with them, but I think in the best interest is that when these issues, when these plans come before the committees and the boards, especially if it's on White Horse Beach, it's infringing on the bylaws of deeded property, their deeded rights. You can't do anything to that. You can't do anything to that. They have to leave 9 feet of their property line all the ways back open for the residents who have a deeded right.
Okay.
Okay,
And the residents should not have to take them to court, so it should stop now before it gets worse. So I do have a concern, because like I said, the last residents had trees and fences and everything else, and they were not allowed to have them. So I have a concern about, I don't have a concern about the septic on it, I have a concern of digging up that right away. I'm working on it. So I'm gonna check into it further and I'll make sure it gets
well,
conservation.
we've noted your concern.
Okay.
I just have one question for the engineer.
Yeah.
What's the setback from the high water mark on Cape Cod Bay?
High water
That-
mark on Cape Cod Bay, roughly 400 feet, roughly.
Okay,
Yeah,
that should be over, because if it's too close, then we have to get a buoyancy test done. But that wouldn't be the case.
no,
for
because
this, right?
because they're right on Taylor Ave,
Yeah.
so that's far away.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so, let's
make a
take a
motion.
motion.
To grant the variances as written in the plan.
And I'll have a second. Okay, Amy, made the motion and Meg seconded. Any more discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, yeah, we can, I know that you're here.
Aye.
All in favor? It's unanimous.
This is it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Rick Brady.
Oh, sorry. I've talked to you.
Okay, septic variance for 24, Gardner Drive.
That is one of the Clarities.
It's me, I'm on.
Hey,
Hello.
Kevin.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Right?
Good. Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah,
Yes.
let me get mine down. You should be able to go ahead.
Can you guys all see that?
Give it a second. Yep, yeah, we do.
You're good. Okay. So Kevin Flaherty from Flaherty and Stefani, representing Cullen Coulter on 24 Gardner Drive. He recently purchased the property in September, and we're kind of just making sure we update, the existing septic system, which is currently a cesspool. So this is a kind of a small lot down off Gardner Drive, which is, down in South Plymouth. His property is right on Island Pond. All the neighbors have wells in this area, so it's kind of one of those, what we can fit in and how we can squeeze it in. So we're going forward with a 3-bedroom leaching field and a new 1,500-gallon septic tank. We're kind of based off what we had for, horizontal area. We went with a Presby environmental system, with 210 feet of pipe, 70 feet per bedroom, which is the requirement. So what we have right here is there's an existing cesspool that's out right next to this shed. All the wells in this area that we can find are located inside the houses. So our well is right here, approximately 35 feet away from there. So the variances we're requesting from this board are a local upgrade approval from 10 feet to 0 feet on the front property line, from 10 feet to 5 feet for the leaching field on the right property line, and 4 feet from 10 feet from the side property line for the septic tank. Along with, a local upgrade approval for our well, which is, we held 52 was the best we could do, from the required 100. And we also had to get a local variance from the abutter on the right, from his well inside his house, from 100 feet to 77 feet. So really what we did, we pinched everything we could right to the street line, kind of staggered this Presby system, to make sure we, did the best we could. We were able to avoid the neighbor's well on the left, and kind of keep everything outside the 100-foot buffer from conservation. And I think with that, I'll be happy to answer. And we also did a well test, obviously, because we're within the 100 feet from our well, which came back as, which we weren't sure about on an older house, but came back suitable for drinking, per the EPA standards. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
No, it's a tight system.
Yeah, it is really tight.
Using the Presby too, I mean, that's when you're starting to really
Yeah.
look into other things, so
Yeah.
I have no issue.
Kate, any questions? Barry?
No.
Nope. So they did the well test. Is that sufficient?
This reminds me of a question on a final exam. We does though, you know what I mean? If like you're studying for your Title V license, and this would be the question on the final exam.
Yeah.
Every situation that could happen is happening on this property.
Yeah, so I mean, we had to go with the polyethylene tank because again, the gravel driveway is only about 12 feet wide on a 20-foot layout, and there's a overhead utility line that runs over the top of the whole thing. So, in these situations, we've been kind of going more Presby because the benefit of the Presby from, our standards on these tight areas is it doesn't require a 5-foot remove and replace. So we can kind of keep the systems, we can push the systems down to get into suitable material, but also kind of not disturb as much as we can in these properties with the idea that we can push the street line a little bit to zero and that type of thing. So I think more and more we're going to be putting these Presbys on these small lots. So
Wow.
Are there any butters?
Yeah, there are. Oh,
Here.
and we send out certified mailings to the only abutter that we're asking local upgrade approval from is this right property line, 26 Gardner for the well and the property line. And that green card went out a while ago.
And then the department.
We would
recommends-
recommend approval. There are a lot of moving parts to this, obviously, but it is replacing a cesspool, which is always our number one concern. It's like I said, it's every aspect you can think of is actually happening here. But this is definitely compliant with Title V with the approvals that the board will make. So we would recommend approval as well.
Okay, any other questions? Can I have
I'll make a motion to accept with the variances and
Okay.
upgrade included.
and a second? Second, okay. Amy has made the motion and Meg has seconded. Any more concerns? All in favor? Aye. It passes unanimously.
All right, great. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Kevin.
And you passed your exam.
Yes.
That's good.
Yay, you can do Title V stuff here.
All right, we'll see you.
You
Bye.
passed the exam. Okay, some grease trap variances.
Yes, ma'am.
We have 105 Samoset Street, Dunkin' Donuts.
We have Peter Amaral joining us via Zoom. He is the plumber for Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
He works for Cadet Enterprises, who owns Dunkin' Donuts. Our team did visit several times. A dye test was conducted. It is just the way the layout is in there. It is just not feasible to set up an automatic grease trap. I don't know if any of you have been into that Dunkin' Donuts, but I think they have maybe 70 square feet with that to work within.
Which one is it?
It's on
One in the gas station.
the gas station. in
It has a
Samoset.
drive-through.
Yeah. So teeny tiny, so what we've all recommended, and asked for the board to approve, they do have 2 hand sinks. We are asking that a passive grease trap be put on one of those, and that hand sink be designated as the one to dump drinks down, and the other hand sink be solely used for hand washing. So we're asking for signage as well. And like I said, Peter is with us if you have any questions.
So there would be a dump sink.
Yeah.
And then a hand washing.
Correct.
And there would have to be signs.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And in addition to that, obviously, a licensed grease seller.
What's
Yes.
there now?
Nothing.
Okay. Dan, do you have anything?
It's Peter.
Oh, excuse me, Peter. Peter, do you have anything that you'd like to add or?
There is one grease trap. It's in the back, at the point of use of the 3-bay. They do have that. They do no cooking. They serve donuts and bagels, which comes from an outside kitchen. That's it.
But it is on the
Okay.
opposite side of the building.
It is on
correct?
the opposite side of the building, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you see any problems with putting signage everywhere so that your people can know about this?
No. They should have no problem.
Okay. Any other questions? No.
No,
No, okay. All right, so I'd like to have someone make a motion to make sure that they have a passive system and designate that for dump and then the other, sink for hand washing.
I'll make a motion to accept the variance as recommended by the team with the dump tank and the path to strip.
Good. Second?
Second.
Okay, we have a, motion, Amy and Meg, and any other concerns? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
That has passed.
you're all set, Peter. Thank you so much for joining us.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Kevin Clancy. I think you're Kevin. right? Yep. Up to the table.
I'll have to, excuse my appearance, I'm also the
Oh, good.
carpenter, that's what. I wear many hats. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm so glad you have an Irish accent. I was hoping you would.
Here 27 years.
Oh, I know, but it's so cute.
You just use it to name it to an account too. So Kevin is going to be opening up the Galway Girl Irish Shop. You also own one in Duxbury.
Correct, yeah.
So everything, there's not going to be any kind of cooking. Any food is going to be ready to eat, prepackaged foods. The beverages will just be tea and coffee. Per plumbing code, they do require some sort of a grease trap. So we are going to make we are asking for you to make the allowance for a passive grease trap to be installed on their 3-bay or 2-bay plus dishwasher, whichever they end up going with.
Okay. Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, and again, as I said, in the other store, we don't sell tea and coffee, so this is like my first experience dealing with this, so it's more guidance I'm looking for than etc. You know, because once we get set up, I just want to have everything running according to the town of Plymouth, and that we're, as I said, ticking all the boxes. So we, as I said, I spoke to my plumber, and as I said, I told him I was coming to the meeting tonight, so we're basically waiting to hear what you decide. Like I said, we're doing teas and coffees, and everything else is imported from Ireland, pre-packaged. And then I'm working with the baker to bring in some fresh scones, etc. But again, no cooking on site. We have existing, there's a mop sink there, and obviously at the moment we don't have a hand sink, which we're waiting to see what we need to install. The plumbing is all there. I know the popcorn store prior to there had a grease trap there before, etc. So as I said, I know that there's a 2-inch drain pipe already in place. So other than that, yeah, we just need to know what you require from us, and we're happy to comply.
Okay, and what is the department recommending for them?
We recommend that depending on whether or not they go with a 3-bay or a 2-bay plus a dishwasher, that a passive grease trap be connected to all of that, an appropriately sized trap, which the plumber would determine.
Okay.
Okay, so the option then would be 2-bay with a dishwasher or 3-bay, and either are the passive grease trap.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we're just, it's up to the board to decide if they want to approve that.
Okay, and any other questions?
So is it based on just volume, like they're just making coffee and tea and then you're the menu wouldn't be like creamy, like lattes all over the place? Or is it, would you be doing specialty coffees? That's the word.
Well, we were looking at, probably what we had on the menu was, we wanted to do like all the Irish teas, coffee. We are bringing in an espresso machine. So I'm like, we were going to do like cappuccinos and
so there'd be cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but nothing like, as I said, I'm not gonna have 200 different copies, but we'd like to do the basics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
There'll be some cream.
the grease trap is usually sized based on the sink, the bases of the sink, so that's why the plumber would need to be that size.
Yeah, and would it be is it to go containers or is it would you put the coffee in reusable?
Yeah, we're going to do to-go copies. There's there's about the seating, we're determined between 7 and 9, because there's like a bar counter that 3 people can sit on, like a high stool, so to sit at, with their to-go cups. And then, but we do want to serve pots of tea,
Okay,
and so that they would be,
Yeah.
they'd be going in regular cups, like to stay cups, etc.
Mhm.
Because we want to use the Irish, the leek and etc. to serve the tea, and so, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's also like a retail shop, so it's not just strictly.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, like
We're predominantly gifts and food,
yeah,
but in the Duxbury store, we get a lot of destination shoppers and families and daughters that come, and I always said, what's missing, wouldn't it be lovely to make somebody a cup of tea? It's a very Irish thing.
Yeah.
So when we got the store in Plymouth, we seen that we had this opportunity, so it was the missing box we were ticking. So it's like, it's almost like part of the experience of coming into an Irish store, you get a cup of tea.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, so
Yeah.
that's the concept of it.
And then with the monthly pumping, you would have them record how much fog, and then if it gets too much, then you say
Yeah.
pump it more often.
That's the right
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I was speaking to in the office of the Board of Health, and obviously we'd have to get a contract with somebody to clean out the
Mhm.
police trap, et cetera,
Mhm.
so yeah.
Mhm.
And again, as I said, this is all new to me, so it's
Yeah.
got guidance I'm looking for.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Any other questions? No. Okay, and you feel like this would be reasonable, what we're asking you to do,
I know
right?
nothing about grease traps.
Yeah, well,
You know,
I feel like it's
Nothing
more
to
than-
compare it
I feel
to.
like
Yes.
it's definitely more than reasonable.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
not-
it's, it's very accommodating to what you're proposing.
Yeah.
But if anything changes in your operations, you would go back to, like if all of a sudden you're turning it into a coffee shop
Mhm.
okay,
permanently, then you would go back to the board
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
And we'll be monitoring that as.
Yeah.
Yeah. so I'm like, yeah, because I knew coming into this that we would need some form of grease trap, so. I'll have to Google whether past the grease trap is.
okay, so, we need to make a motion for them to place a passive grease trap, with 2 things, did you say, or?
Either 2 bay plus a dishwasher.
Yeah.
Or they're 3 bay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and they can do either one, as far as we're concerned.
And then the grease trap will be sized based on the size of the sink,
Correct.
which the
Yeah.
plumber will probably do through the plumbing inspections. All right,
Okay,
excellent, thank you.
so can we make a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to accept the variance as recommended by the, team.
Okay, Meg?
We know how it works here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
So Kevin, I will issue you that certification that says that you do have the grease trap waiver, and it'll spell out everything that you need.
Perfect, thank you very
Okay.
much, guys, yeah.
And I look forward to having a little tea this
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it too. Because I'm like,
When do you
I
think,
grew up in the west of Ireland, learning about the history of Plymouth. So the fact that I have a business here, I'm very excited.
We're excited
It's a
too.
privilege, so thank you very much.
when do you think you open?
I was hoping St. Patrick's Day,
Oh,
but I think it might be wishful. I might even put myself under that pressure with an Irish store, so. I'm hoping into March, early April, and then we can kind of iron out all the kinks and get everything
Very nice.
up and running. Yeah.
Very good.
Very
Very
good.
excited.
Welcome to Plymouth.
Much goes.
I love those.
I love the tea.
Okay, so that is all of our business, as far as variances go. We would like to maybe start our discussion on the kratom recommendations. So a couple of things, I sent you all out the, Senate bill numbers. Did you have a chance to look those over? I thought they were interesting. In my reading of it, it felt like it went one of 2 ways. One was that they were going to recommend banning all kratom products, either this the 1708 or the leaf stuff, the whole leaf stuff. Then there were other bills that said just the 1708 and not the whole leaf. I find that it's hard to know, and I don't think the retailers know what what the whole leaf stuff is. And, you know, they talk about powder, they talk about little capsules, I don't think they really understand, what it is. And, you know, I haven't personally gone out and tried to buy some, but you had
did,
talked to some people.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I went around in Plymouth.
And my guess is that, did it have ingredients on the bag or anything like that?
Some did,
Yeah,
and it was all synthetic things I couldn't pronounce.
yeah.
But none of the retailers really even knew what I was asking for first. And then I just said,
Yeah.
like, those pills, what are those? And they hand them over, but they didn't know anything about them at
Right.
all.
Right.
There were very, very minimal danger warnings. There was no dosage on them, you know, things like that.
Right.
And when I did ask, and I asked every single place I went into, do you sell pure leaf kratom?
Yeah.
They had no idea.
They don't know
that
what
even
it
was.
is.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, they don't know what it is.
yeah.
So it sort of feels like, and I'm not sure our legislators do either, as as I'm reading the bills, I'm thinking, do they really understand this? So that's where it stands at the state level. And they're all, they've all been brought up, but they haven't been voted on, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows when that will happen. So I think that, you know, we have to do what we believe is the right thing. And, you know, if the state changes it later, then we'll just have to go back and change it.
I did see in everywhere that I looked, and I don't know if you guys saw anything different, but when I started looking at like what the DEA and the FDA said about kratom, they still at this time, December 2025, were not recommending it for dietary health use. They just said, basically, they just don't know enough about it. It's not researched enough to say that it's safe.
Right.
So I feel like even if the state still is unsure, the federal government is still unsure, then we can't really be sure it's safe either.
Yes. So that was my take on the Senate and the House stuff. Did any of you get? I know I read what you said. Did anybody come away with a feeling about where the state might go?
I don't anticipate the state to move quickly, and I feel like this is when local health has to step in, and it's the same with tobacco or even plastic bag bans. I mean, how long have we been saying the state's gonna do something with plastic bag bans?
Yeah.
So I feel like this is one of those where, you know, when this is very dangerous. It seems like there are people who have died from it, and there's not enough education. And I understand that in public health, we want to educate, but I just don't know, I don't think that town by town, that education is gonna be there to be able to not, like, I think that the swiftest we can be is to pass regulation, especially with 708. And the thing that concerns me about pure leaf kratom is that there's no known safe dose. And when you go and you look and you have all these little capsules of pure leaf kratom, but they're jam packed and you don't, you know, some of the letters that we've received is like, my kid took a whole bunch of the capsules and then died. So I've seen stuff around the state, like with this, where it says, well, you can sell pure leaf as long as you have a safe dose listed and all that. And I don't think there is anything. And to Katie's point, I don't think there's enough knowledge around it to think that somebody would be able to safely sell it.
Well, like I said, I don't feel like the sellers know what they're selling.
No, and I think we had said at another meeting, Amy, it might have been you, like, and what about if they mix it with like cough medicine or something that could just be totally, you know, not on their mind that it's gonna be dangerous, but
you know,
Mhm.
certain medications affect people of different ages, cardiac arrhythmias, like things like that, so.
Right.
Well, and especially if it's being marketed as either like an energy supplement
Yeah.
or a calming supplement, you know, they're not.
Which is so scary because it says it acts as a stimulant like meth and also like an opioid like
Yeah.
heroin, so it's
Right.
energizing and
And
calming,
calming.
but in
Right.
very dangerous ways.
And there was actually, I just saw a new one that just came out, a drink that, yeah, was
Yeah,
saying that it was calming.
Yeah, the other thing, I don't think even it's purely kratom, that they actually know how much 7-OH is mixed in with
No.
it too.
Or built up in
No.
your system.
And it could build up. And, you know, I have the first one I saw was from town of Kingston,
Mhm.
back in October.
Mhm.
And it just says, no person shall manufacture, distribute, sell, or offer for sale kratom in any of its forms, natural or synthetic, as defined herein, or any kratom-derived products, or any products containing kratom as an additive in the town of Kingston. I think that covers all the risks.
In the draft that I had sent to you guys a few months ago,
That's
that's the language.
Yeah.
That was the language.
Yeah.
And
But yeah.
Bourne, I did talk to Chief Flynn, Bourne has already banned it. Mashpee is looking to ban it as well.
They did.
They did, I think.
Yeah, okay, so they've already.
Mansfield banned it last week.
Okay,
Yep.
so I think as
Mansfield.
communities, like we need to start like branching out so that we don't have
Yeah.
residents going to other communities to purchase this because it's
Yeah.
banned.
Well, and that's the thing, because the 7-OH is so addicting,
Mhm.
it's so addicting, so they are gonna go to
They
other
are.
They're gonna go to
communities, and
other
it's going to be. If we don't hurry up and get a grip on this, I think one of those bills had called it a public health emergency, actually.
Yeah, one of them did.
Yeah, so.
They're
like,
not
if-
moving very
If we don't get a grip on it, like we're
Yeah.
saying, at a local level,
Yeah.
it could be really, really problematic.
The other thing too is that a lot of police departments, I spoke to somebody in Taunton Police, Middleborough Police, and here in Plymouth Police, they're all saying, no, we haven't heard that much about it. But I think it's getting underreported because if somebody has an overdose, it's treated with Narcan.
Yeah.
So of course, they're just going to assume that it's, you know,
Right.
opioid overdose. So I think the fact that it's so underreported in that foray, we need to take control of it here. We need to prevent it here. So
In a
it's
way
not-
that's scarier, because you're thinking they're just going right to the gas station and buying this, so no one
Exactly.
even knows in their own
Exactly.
family maybe that they're doing this or using them, so.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look shady or anything.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it's not being done under the cloak of darkness.
Right,
They're
right.
going in to buy a soda and then they grab that.
I'm sure it's sold online too.
Oh, it's
yeah,
sold on.
it's so easy.
So even if we ban it in our towns, in
Well,
this area.
they're not gonna be
That's all
able
we
to-
have control.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
all
all
that
we
we
have
have control over, just like a issue earlier in the meeting, like, all we have control of, this is our purview, is the town
Yeah.
of Plymouth.
Yeah.
So we care about the health of the residents in the town of Plymouth, and this substance, from everything that, all the data we've collected, read, listened to, seen, there's too many unknowns. It appears very dangerous and habit forming, and we don't need another
Epidemic.
substance leading,
Yeah.
like just feeding into this epidemic that we are already fighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, one of the other things that they talked about in the different House and Senate bills was, well, we'll ban it, but just under 18.
Mhm.
And to me, that is sad
Yeah.
because there have been many adults that have died.
Right.
So we're gonna allow them to.
And what about
to use
pregnancy,
it.
is it safe during pregnancy, I mean, how are you gonna,
Yeah, so I feel like putting an age on it is not quite the
If
same
it's
as
not
with
safe for people
tobacco.
under 18, it's not safe for people over 18, in my opinion.
Right,
I know, but that's the same with
that's,
tobacco.
that's a tobacco thing
Yeah,
too,
yeah, but in
Well,
this case,
yeah.
we don't know if it's safe for anybody.
We can just move forward,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
we can't go back to whatever tobacco regulations,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we're doing our best to control
Yeah.
it now,
Yeah.
after the fact.
Yep.
Now that we know
Right.
that this is habit forming and all these, you know, causes cancer and all these things,
right,
now we know.
Right.
But now we're gonna nip this in the bud, I hope,
Yeah.
to stop it
Yeah.
from evolving.
Did you read the letter? It was just today that we got a letter from I believe he was a physician.
Oh, he was a medical professional.
Oh, a medical
I Googled
professional.
him, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't find anything. Okay, because he
He
was
was like a
begging.
licensed medical profession.
he was begging us to, allow him to continue to use it. It sounded like he,
I do-
recommended it.
Yeah, I do understand that there, and for me, around Kratom is the like, there's a whole culture, a southeastern culture that grew up with it, uses it as a tea and understands it.
Mhm.
But I don't feel like that's where we're at here, especially in Massachusetts or in the, it's marketed as little pills of concentrated something that doesn't, it's gonna make people sick the way it's.
We've even heard people refer to it as plant medicine.
Mm,
I mean,
that's so misleading.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so, what would you're sort of spearheading this, what would you like to do from here?
I had rewritten it, I'm sorry, I sent you the wrong.
I know.
I was like, oh my god, I sent you the first pass over again. So I rewrote them,
Yeah.
but I sent her the wrong one. So I used everything, nothing was contradicting.
Mhm.
Do you have it up on your?
Yeah, I'm curious, when you have, there was some, like it looks like, and I'm only going with, what I've seen around from the, other templates, is you have a lot more like whereas.
That was just the template, so I can reword it
Oh,
like
yeah,
Kingston's if you want. I got from you.
I know, I'm just curious where it came from.
That one came from,
Yeah.
from Kingston.
All
From
of
there.
these whereas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this whereas is in there.
Alright.
At the beginning of every
I know,
paragraph.
That was
Yeah.
the template they used.
I actually, believe it or not, took a lot out. I tried to simplify it a little bit.
No, I mean, I was just curious
Yeah.
where the whereases came from, because, and that's the other problem with, like, not problem, but within local health, everybody comes up with something else. And
Right,
that's why
right.
it's hard to kind of,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's all cited and.
So
fine. Yeah.
according to what was in the House and Senate, the first violation pretty much looked like for everything would be $500 from anything that I saw, and then $1,000
That
moving
was what I was
forward,
saying.
ban the nicotine license, if they
Yeah.
were found 3 times after that. And it just kind of outlined, are you sending that to?
Oh, do you want me to send?
You
it to
mind?
everybody?
Yeah, if
No,
you
I
mind.
can do
Sorry.
that. No, that's fine.
Outlines the difference between kratom, the 7-OH, what they do, that it's known to cause psychosis, act as an opiate in large amounts and a methamphetamine almost in small amounts, and basically that we should just ban it all.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't know either how we would ever differentiate between what is real, what's not, and like I asked that woman who called in at that other meeting, if you had to choose between
Yeah,
allowing the
that was
7-OH and not, and she herself said you'd have to ban them both.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I do think it's that dangerous. I really do.
Yeah.
Assuming the state finally passes a law.
Yeah,
Will that supplant anything that we do?
no, nothing contradicts anything. It all lines up.
Okay.
As of now, unless they change, we'd have to adjust to that.
Mhm. Well, and if we need to,
We can change
I
it.
completely agree
We
with
just
Amy,
change
though,
it.
as far as like state kind of like wait.
Until it's a huge crisis.
They hold off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
like you see locals popping up and making decisions, and then when there's enough local like energy around it, then
Yes.
the state makes a decision.
Yeah.
That's been the pattern.
Should we run this by our, legal friends?
I think we have to.
Yep. So,
Has to go to town council.
Right, so once you're.
well, no,
Go ahead.
I know that, but, I'm just saying what's the group? The legal group that, has been helping.
MAHB.
MAHB. MAHB. I know.
There's too many.
I
MAHB.
don't think we need to go through them. They would go right to town council.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll say, go to town council.
And I'm sure Sarah Sabaro will say, wonderful.
Okay, yeah, all right. So,
The only thing I wasn't sure of, I'm sorry to interrupt you, is do I have to specify, because I don't know all the regulations between smoke shops and gas stations, because they're allowed to sell things in smoke shops, do we have to specifically say all retail stores or smoke shops included?
You have it, you just can't sell it.
yeah.
Okay.
Don't sell
All right.
it.
Cannot sell it
Anywhere.
anywhere.
All right, okay,
Cannot be sold within.
Yeah, it doesn't specify any specific,
okay.
Yeah,
at least in Kingston, they don't specify it.
Yeah, you said in this, what did it say? No person shall manufacture, distribute, or sell kratom, kratom-derived, or synthetically derived kratom, including but not limited to
Okay,
7-hydroxy blah, blah, or kratom product in the town of Plymouth.
Okay. That covers it.
Yeah, that covers it.
And if somebody feels they absolutely have to have it, I guess they can order it online. It's not within our purview.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Okay,
you know
so,
what's scary is a lot of the stores, like in Boston and Maine, like people are sending me pictures that where they can sell it and they're allowed to sell the kratom. They have the big neon signs,
Yeah.
and that's what's bringing people in, thinking it's safe. But then they're buying this kratom product, the 7-OH, which is life altering for people. I mean, it's just destroying lives. So,
yeah,
that's another reason I feel like just getting rid of that whole idea in people's mind that, oh, kratom is safe, we can use it. And I mean, we have no evidence really to back that up, so.
And our charge is to protect the people of Plymouth
Yes.
yeah.
as much as we can.
Yeah. We have some, people that want to make comments, so we entertain those now.
Dan Gibbs had his hand up first, if
I
you
think, are
want.
these people that are
Right.
spoken?
Are they people that are?
Yeah, so I would say that if you do have something different to say, then certainly we'd like to hear what you have to say. If it's just, a reiteration of things that have already been said, maybe give somebody else another chance.
And we need to know if they're Plymouth residents.
Right. If there's any Plymouth residents, we'd like to take them first. I don't think Dan or Susan are Plymouth residents, but I don't see that anybody else has their hands raised. So when you do speak, if you can just give your name and where you're from, that would be ideal.
Okay. Dan?
Hello. Yes, my name is Dan Gibbs. Holly Trueville is a Mass resident. She asked me to speak on her behalf. She couldn't make it. So my name is Dan. Yes. Can you hear
Where are
me?
you from? Yeah, we can hear you. Where are you from?
Okay. I'm from Ohio.
Thank you.
Yes. My name is Dan Gibbs. I'm here as a father who lost my 25-year-old son, Austin, to kratom toxicity. Austin was not using fentanyl, heroin, or prescription opioids. His toxicology report did not identify any illicit opioids or synthetic opioid substances. He was using natural leaf kratom. Post-mortem toxicology identified mitragynine, the primary alkaloid naturally occurring in the kratom leaf. It did not identify concentrated or synthetic kratom products or 7-OH. It was not separately identified. The autopsy documented pulmonary edema with frothy fluid in his airway, findings consistent with acute respiratory depression and physiologically consistent with opioid type overdose. The official determination was clear. The sole cause was kratom toxicity. It was natural kratom. The advocates will tell you that kratom is harmless because it's natural, while also promoting it as a substitute for opioids for chronic pain and withdrawal. That contradiction should tremendously concern the board. Kratom cannot be benign and powerful enough to replace opioids. Mitragynine and 7-OH act on opioid receptors. The physiology of my son's death reflects that reality. Boards of health are empowered to act when products sold in retail settings pose a public health risk. I respectfully urge this board to ban the sale and distribution of all forms within the town of Plymouth, including leaf, extracts, and alcoholic products, to prevent further harm. My family cannot be undone, but other families can still be protected. Also, I believe there are 13 or 14 towns in Mass that have banned.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you very
Dan.
much. Yes.
Thank you. Susan is next. If
Thank
we
you.
can just get Susan's first and last name and where you're calling from.
Hi, I'm Susan Eppert, and I'm calling from Michigan. And I'm calling because my son, my 22-year-old son, Matthew Joseph Eller, died from whole leaf kratom powder, the least potent form of kratom in the United States. It caused him to have a seizure and go into cardiac arrest and die. His toxicology and autopsy showed he died from the toxic effects of mitragynine, an alkaloid found only in kratom. He had no prescription drugs, no street drugs, nor alcohol in his system when he died, and his autopsy showed he had no underlying health conditions. And it's very important to note that he did not die from 7-OH or 7-hydroxymitragynine, as he died in 2021, and concentrated 7-hydroxymitragynine did not come out until 2023. And I belong to the Facebook group Kratom Danger Awareness. and am also friends with Holly Trouville, who lost her son and only child, and she lives in Massachusetts. And it's just important to note that you'll try to be duped into thinking that 7-OH is the problem, but a lot of people have died from just kratom. In my group, there's hundreds of people who loved ones had died from kratom before 7-hydroxy hit the market. And thank you so much for everything you're doing to save everybody from this garbage drug.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Shannon.
you. Shannon is next. Shannon, if you can just give your first and last name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Shannon Harold, and I'm from a lifelong resident of Massachusetts. I am here today to share my testimony regarding the vital natural role of natural leaf kratom. It has played in my life, and I urge you to consider regulation rather than a total ban. In 2017, I suffered from chronic pain so severe that it led to countless ER and doctor visits and many days out of work. Finding natural kratom has been a miracle for me and many others who seek natural pain relief. It is terrifying if natural kratom is banned. Many whom depend on this natural plant would be left without options or forced to turn to prescribed opioids. Natural leaf kratom is not an opioid. Synthetic 7-OH is dangerous, it is addictive, and it should be totally banned. I agree. It is not the same as natural kratom. You will hear that from a lot of people. However, natural kratom is a God-given plant that provides pain relief without the risk associated with synthetics or opioids like 7-OH. Just to let you know, recently Amherst and South Hadley just passed their ordinance that regulated natural kratom and banned 7-OH. And as you know, through my emails, Rhode Island reversed the ban as of April 1st, 2026, after they did their scientific research that was done. Even the FDA announced at their July 29th, 2025 press conference, they are not interested in scheduling kratom, but rather banning synthetic 7-OH. I ask that you please take my testimony into account and the many others whom reached out. A total ban would be devastating to our state and our country, and the many individuals that rely on this natural plant for their quality of life. Please consider regulating natural kratom and banning synthetic 7-OH to protect our access to natural relief. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you.
Next. Can I ask her a question? Is she so?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to ask questions?
Yeah.
Are you still there?
I'm here.
Where do you get your natural leaf kratom, and how do you know that it's 100% natural?
Yep, I order it offline. I can email you if you'd like, but I do order it offline from a vetted vendor. He does get it tested. And pretty much everything is tested. It's goes through all these tests. He is with the AKA. But I can email you more information about that if you'd like. I have no problem.
So you're
with
not
that.
purchasing it in a store anyways?
No, nope. I'm not going into gas stations. I'll be honest with you. I have tried the gas station ones, and it's not the same. And I never tried the 7-OH. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would never, ever, ever buy that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So next is Tia, if you can just give us your first and last name and where you're from.
My name is Tia Ristisi. I'm from Boise, Idaho, and I'm here to support full ban on kratom. My friend Holly Trouville is also a resident in Massachusetts. My perspective comes from a loss no parent should ever experience. In 11 days will be the 1-year anniversary of my daughter's death. She was only 23 years old when she died. Because she was so young, they had to do an investigation. After the autopsy and tox screen was performed, my dry-jitting overdose was determined to be the factor of death. Kylie trusted the word natural. She used natural kratom powder. She believed it was safe to use for pain because that's how the industry markets it. She was not using extracts or 7-OH products. The leaf itself killed her. My dry-jitting and 7-OH both bind to the same opioid receptors as morphine. The idea that natural powder is harmless while only certain extracts are dangerous is not supported with what's happening in real life. My state of Idaho reported 83 kratom-involved deaths between 2020 and 24. Bonneville County recorded 6 deaths in 18 months. 4 were from my dry jitting alone, and 1 was my daughter. These deaths mirror what other states are seeing, especially as kratom becomes more available in small shops and gas stations. The industry is already developing new derivatives like MGM-15 and MGM-16. A full ban is the only approach that closes loopholes and keep opioid-acting substances out of your community. I know bans are not easy, but I know what it feels like to stand in my daughter's empty room and wonder how something sold as natural herb destroyed her life. I'm asking you for a ban so no family has to learn the same lessons through loss of a child, spouse, or friend. Thank you for taking the time to listen and putting the safety of your residents first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we have.
Okay. I have a question for Madison. Madison is our high school representative. Hi, Madison.
Hi.
Are you aware of kratom?
I definitely heard about it since coming to these meetings, and then I've been seeing it more, like now I'm realizing it out in like gas stations, and whereas before, like before we talked about this, I really didn't hear about it that much. I never hear about it from like students at my school or anything like that, but since talking about it with you guys, and then I'll be going to like a gas station or a store, I'll see the signs and I'll start to like put the pieces together, like what it is and like what they're actually marketing versus like what I hear about from these meetings, what it's like. One of my teachers asked me one time, like, if we talk about it, since like her husband teaches at another school and they've brought it up at their school. So I've heard it more recently.
So you're not aware of any students that
No,
are
no one, at least in like
using
my close circle or grade, is using it or anything like that.
that you know of?
Not that I know of, at least.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so I think we're at a point where we need to finalize the draft, the one that you just sent, which we'll all look at. We got it now. And then we can put this on, if everyone feels comfortable, put this on the agenda to vote on it.
So are you thinking, so we have this draft, are you thinking that we ask the division to share it with town council for approval? And then we bring it back?
I guess,
What's
is
the
that
process?
the way you do it? Is that the process?
Are you is there a version right now that you're all comfortable with that you want?
Well, we have a, yeah.
Okay.
We have a draft that,
Okay.
I mean, this is like finalized.
No,
you know.
I can certainly, I'll share with town council. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
The one thing with Katie's version, that just understanding when I have to read through regulations is the formatting, just makes it difficult to read so.
Yeah.
I don't, just cause it's like, it has to be as clear as possible to be like, what does this say? What's that saying? So I don't know if it's easier for you guys to do it the way you read through regulations, like just format.
What do you mean by formatting?
Well, when you look at it, it's a PDF.
Yep.
And the words are kind of square, like I like a lot of space, I like,
Yeah.
simple.
If you wanna send it to me, I can certainly,
If cause you're on the health board, aren't you, or?
no, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't get any of those.
Sorry.
Oh, you don't? I didn't know
I
that.
don't, no. Cause Karen's not, like, we're separate because we're employees, so, yeah, so if you wanna send it to me, I can export that out to a Word doc and reformat it that way, so it's a little easier to read.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good. Good
Before
job.
we move on to the next thing, the vote that you took for the tobacco regulations, what effective date do you want for that?
Oh, that's a good. And the only change in that regulation was the 6 milligrams and the change in the language on the local fines in the.
Yeah.
So I would say, for the, tobacco retailers to be able to work through their 6 milligrams at least a month.
And Bob Collette had sent something, and I'll have to get the exact date, that he wants something to go into effect. I forget if it's
The
in
FDA
April.
one?
Yes, was that
The
April 1st or April
We
1st?
could do the April 1st.
I think that makes sense.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we keep everything on the same.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
give them one date to remember.
Do you want us to make a motion for that, or do you feel?
If you could,
Okay, so I'm gonna
yeah.
make a motion that the new tobacco regulations start on
Okay.
April 1st.
Perfect,
Okay,
thank you.
second,
Okay.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Just a reminder too about the webinar, the Kratom webinar on 2/25. Okay, Citizens Advisory Board. So I sent you all a copy of the job description, which Lorenzo actually had worked on. And I added a couple of things to it. Did everyone agree with that as the description?
Yep.
Okay. And I got the name of all the applicants for the board positions from the past. And so if it's okay with you, if the job description is okay with you, I'm going to send that out with the letter saying that, you know, we knew you were interested in this, might be interested in being on our advisory board.
One suggestion, since they're gonna vote at the select board on next Tuesday for the vacancy.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna have more people that don't succeed in getting appointed.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
So maybe you should
Wait
wait
until I get
until they
the
do
rest of the
that.
list.
Yeah, cause it's so close.
Yeah.
And let's just say Katie was moved into a regular position, then we would have an alternate position open
Yeah.
too. So like, there's a few opportunities maybe for somebody. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. And then, if we got, you know, I want to have at least 3 people, but if we got more than 3 people, how do we want to bet? How do we want to decide who we're gonna take?
How many people can we think? Just one?
Well, we said we were gonna have 3.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you want a huge.
Well, we're a small board, so
Group.
we don't wanna have.
And I don't-
Make the
Yeah.
outnumber us.
In the past, I don't think, did we have 3 or 4, some,
I thought there were 4, I thought, yeah.
but you don't want it too big.
No,
Not
it's good.
everyone's gonna come every.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we get more interest than that, I'll just bring it back to you with their resumes and we can
I
pick.
think so.
Okay. Okay, and I did reach out to Madison and Charlie, and they both wanted to continue to attend. Although I don't see Charlie today, but I see Madison, welcome back.
It's February vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's probably skiing somewhere. Okay.
A question from Madison, though.
Yeah.
Is it more of a burden because the board now meets twice a month instead of once for you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Because I thought, well, maybe that's why they don't, they're busy.
Well, they are busy. I'm not sure if you were around when we talked about how we were doing this, but the virtual one, the Zoom one that we do is the first of the month, the first one of the month, the first Wednesday. And we try to keep that more educational, invite speakers and that sort of thing, as well as we each present what's going on in the community. So, you know, that of the 2 of them, that might be the most interesting for you because it talks about these kinds of topics, you know, that are educational. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And speaking also for the rest of the board, in the past, we welcome suggestions from our student representatives if there's specific topics that they thought, you know, should come up for discussion with the board.
Absolutely. All right, director's report.
It's Margaret's Day.
It's gonna be
Assistant director.
the assistant director's report.
That's hysterical.
The director,
Should we change it on the agenda?
Oh, dear.
No, I wanted, I didn't want Karen to have to do something when she came back. I knew today was going to be a pretty hellacious day. Was I right about that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so.
That was accurate.
So Meg had wanted us to include some stats about measles. It is in Maine, as Meg did say, in Plymouth County, you're looking at about 4.7% of the population. So it's a little bit smaller, in terms of people that, 4.7 is kindergarten students that have not been vaccinated. So, you know, that's not a huge number, but it's not, zero would be better. Measles, mumps, and rubella is one of the most effective vaccines out there. So just some rules of thumb, when you suspect your child might have measles, is to keep them away from family members that are not sick. Make sure that no one outside of your home goes near them, and call your doctor or the hospital right away. Do not bring them in, because measles is airborne and can remain in the air for, what is it, like 2 hours?
2 hours.
So, yeah, so very, very contagious. You should go to the emergency room should you experience trouble breathing, pain when breathing or coughing, any kind of dehydration, fever or headache that will not stop or be brought down by antichiretics, such as Tylenol and such. Confusion, decreased alertness or severe weakness, and blue color around the mouth, low energy or difficulty feeding for younger children. So this will be included with the minutes, but just some things to highlight. As I said, it's very dangerous, especially for babies and young children. It is spread through the air, stays in the air for 2 hours. It's so contagious that people, about 9 out of 10 people who come near a person with measles will be infected if they're not vaccinated. So again, best way to prevent it is with the measles, mumps, and rubella or MMR vaccine. Anyone who is not vaccinated at risk of measles is at risk of measles infection and severe complication. And just because I didn't say it enough, I highlighted it once again at the bottom. Make sure you call. Do not go walking around with this.
Margaret, I have a quick question. If
Yes.
you go up a little further, just so you say, it has the CDC toolkit, you say CDC has developed a toolkit that includes treatments such as vitamin A?
Yeah, I didn't really look into that much, but,
Is that new?
I don't know. I don't know. Interesting though.
I don't know. Well, that's today's CDC.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I have never heard
It's a little concerning too, where it's like a fat soluble vitamin. You don't want people taking it upon themselves to.
Overdose.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, vaccination is clearly.
It's the
most.
It's the way to go.
The safest.
Exactly, agreed.
Yeah.
Is
So.
it 2 dose? Is it a 2 dose vaccine?
Yes,
Right.
Yeah, I was
well,
gonna say, it's like
it's
2 in the beginning.
it's 15 months at around there, and then it's before school, and then it's before college, basically.
So, the Center for Disease Control and, the World Health Organization both recommend vitamin A supplementation for children with acute measles to reduce complications and mortality, and especially in areas with high deficiency rates. It is considered supportive care, not a substitute for the MMR vaccine, and should be given under medical supervision.
Interesting.
First I've heard of that.
Yeah, me too. Very good.
Okay, so, mental health is something that I think we really need to focus on. So I wanted to talk a little bit about seasonal affective disorder. I feel like we're all suffering from this, and I know we sometimes make light of it, but there are people, I know.
Was Karen your inspiration?
Funny, I did this report while she was on vacation, isn't it?
We're all set.
Steaming. So seasonal affective disorder, also known as winter blues. Some people, they just kind of don't feel like themselves. They get a little down in the dumps about it. They start to feel better when spring comes and there's longer daylight hours. There is such a thing as summer pattern seasonal affective disorder. I'm not really going to go into that, because it's very uncommon, but there are people. I don't know who these people are.
They're not in this room.
They're definitely not in this room.
No.
They're not on my friends list. So I do want to focus on that a little bit. So some of the symptoms of seasonal affective disorder are persistent, sad, anxious, or empty mood nearly most of the day, and it's going to last for about at least 2 weeks. Feelings of hopelessness or pessimism, feelings of irritability, frustration, restlessness, loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities, decreased energy, fatigue, and feeling slowed down, changes in sleep or appetite or unplanned weight changes, thoughts, and this is severe, thoughts of death or suicide attempts. Focusing again on the winter seasonal affective disorder, but I will show the summer if you want to take a look at that. But the winter pattern seasonal affective disorder, some of those symptoms may include oversleeping, overeating, especially for carbs. This is, I don't know how this
Comfort food.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mac and
that's what I would do.
cheese, chips and salsa, social withdrawal, feeling like hibernating. So it's diagnosed by speaking with a professional. So either a healthcare provider or your mental health specialist, and just talking about your concerns. Sometimes they may fill out a questionnaire or just a simple question and answer back and forth, doctor-patient relationship. There are specific criteria that you do have to meet. So it would have to be a pattern of these depressive episodes that occur for at least 2 consecutive years. And it's treated in a multitude of ways. Sometimes you can go on a cruise. Public.
Must be feeling well now.
St. Thomas. Light therapy helps, psychotherapy, antidepressant medication, and vitamin D, which in this area of the country or in any of the northern states, many people are vitamin D deficient. It is not only crucial for mental health, but also for your immune system. So, and you know, I will say there's new evidence out that if you are going to take vitamin D, to also take it with K. It helps you to absorb it better.
Yeah. I know you're supposed to take it with meals.
With what?
Meals, vitamin D.
Yeah, with a meal.
Yeah.
And
you
you'd be
know the
fascinated.
K,
Yeah, with the K, vitamin D with K now is what they
Eat a
recommend.
banana.
Yeah, for better absorption.
And there's different forms of vitamin D. It comes in citrate and 2 or 3 others. And I think one of them is absorbed better than the others.
Yeah, I think the citrate.
I have like the little pills.
Yeah.
I think we all.
Nurse practitioner tells me to
I
take it,
take
and I always forget.
I take it.
You need the supplement pill planner like I have. Fill it every day. So if you do need help, I did want to include this here. If you know anybody that's struggling or in crisis, you can actually just text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. There is a link, findsupport.gov, for any kind of mental health issues, including drug and alcohol issues. And then to locate facilities or providers, you can visit findtreatment.gov or Sam has National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. So I always like to focus a little bit on mental health. I don't think it gets the spotlight as much as it should. February is American Heart Month. So heart disease, very common in 2023. Almost 1 in every 4 deaths in the United States was caused by heart disease. So that's 25% of deaths. Very, very high number. And high blood pressure is the leading cause of heart disease. That I feel is very important because it's super easy to take your own blood pressure. And it can also mostly be helped through lifestyle factors, so diet and exercise. From an economic standpoint, it does cost healthcare between medicine and services $168 billion between 2021 and 2022. That number is staggering. That's a huge number. So some of the ABCs of heart health. A is for aspirin. Take an aspirin as directed by your healthcare professional. I've seen it several ways. Some just go with the 81 milligrams. I've also seen them go with the 325 milligrams. So it's whatever you and your healthcare provider settle on. B, control your blood pressure. As I said, there's plenty of things out there that you can just monitor it yourself. A lot of pharmacies also have the little cup that you can just go right in. Easy enough to monitor and easy enough to control. C, your cholesterol. Yes, there is a good type of cholesterol. but the other is bad cholesterol. Sometimes it's genetic, but another thing that can be controlled sometimes through diet and exercise. And even if it can't be managed strictly that way, at least you're helping it along. You're doing something right. And Terry, I'm sure you can weigh in on this. They're finding it's more about the ratio between the good and the bad cholesterol, rather than just strict numbers like they used to do. So definitely important to be getting your checks for that. And this one, we started out the meeting with tobacco. We're ending it with this. Don't smoke. Raises your blood pressure, puts you at such a high risk for heart attack and stroke. If you do smoke, you should look into quitting. You can talk to your healthcare professional. You can also visit smokefree.gov or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
And what I like really about quitting too is it improves your lungs almost immediately.
Yeah, it does.
And that's like the
Right.
one thing that like you can actually see improvement, which is
Feel it.
which is exciting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Feel it.
You're right. I'd seen like, like they show like your lung capacity like within hours when you stop,
Yes.
within a day,
Yeah.
within a week, and it really is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Devin got me the numbers for influenza and COVID vaccine so far this year. And this is just for Plymouth, what's been reported thus far. February, we've had 36 cases of influenza. They don't split them out by A and B. So this is combined. And January it was 192. So year to date is 228. In 2025, January and February numbers up until this point was at 278. So we're tracking.
So these are confirmed cases,
Correct.
okay, to the hospital?
Yeah.
Vaccine.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
reported to me then.
Okay.
COVID-19, year to date, we're at 111 cases, and by this time last year, we were at 108. So again, we're tracking. As we always say, self-care, Karen loves to preach it.
I do.
What's your rules?
You gotta stop with yourself.
Yep, so avoid close contact with people who are sick, so stay home when you're sick, wash your hands, cover your mouth and your nose when you sneeze, get fresh air, that's a huge one, we do not get out enough in the winter because we're suffering from seasonal affective disorder. So you gotta get out there, it'll make you feel better to get some sunlight on your face, and take care of yourself, so practice good hygiene habits, which also includes plenty of sleep, being physically active, managing your stress, getting in plenty of water and less alcohol, and making sure that your foods are nutrient dense, get in nutritious foods.
My husband always says is the reason why they always say when the mask falls up from the airplane, always put it on yourself
Yep.
first. You gotta help yourself first before you help somebody else.
Okay.
And then this one right here, this is kind of a surprise. I wasn't gonna add this, but then I decided I would, because I think it's important to kind of note some things that are going on in the department. Whenever we have a food establishment open up, we do a plan review, and we always request a submission for a pest control contract. We don't follow up and make sure that they have that ongoing throughout the year. Obviously, if they have any kind of a pest problem, we find out about it and we deal with it at that point. So it tends to be complaint driven. However, this year we said to all of our food establishments, we need to have a contract in place. End of story. And the number of establishments that did not was very surprising. So I got a call from one of our local pest control contractors who said that since we've implemented this, he's gained at least 15 new restaurants, which that was surprising to me. But it's given him the opportunity to help protect the community by partnering with these establishments and educate them about zoonotic diseases. And it's protecting the food establishment's livelihood, it's protecting our residents and our visitors, and it's also helping to build business of other companies, other independent companies within the town. So I thought that was kind of like a win-win-win across the board. So I am glad that we did implement that this year. And that concludes the assistant director's report.
Very good. Amazing job. You might want to add, make sure you sneeze or cough into your elbow, not into your hand.
Not into your hand. Okay, I one announcement I wanted to make was I sent you that article from the Independent. I didn't know if you got the Independent.
Yeah.
On the grant that Dr. I can't pronounce his last name.
Petros will do. Don't do the last name.
Petro.
He's at the Harvard School of Public Health.
Yeah, and he did get a grant to study the nuclear power plant and people that live around there.
Well,
So,
a little correction there.
yeah.
It actually was awarded to the Greater Boston Physicians for Social Responsibility.
Oh,
But he's
that's
the
how he got
primary,
it.
he's the primary investigator.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And
That's
he
good.
attended one of our forums.
Yes.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, he did. And and he came over to my house and saw a bunch of cleaned the dust in the basement because
He's looking for HVAC filters from people that live at varying distances
Yeah.
from the plant.
So if you know anybody that lives close to the power plant and up in that area.
What's close?
It was within 4 miles, wasn't it? Didn't it?
I think it was within 4 miles. It would be Priscilla Beach, that area,
Rocky Hill Road.
Rocky Hill Road. Yeah.
Even I live like 2.5 miles away. And he said, I need your filter. So, oh, okay.
So if you do know anybody that would be willing to be, give a sample, it's also blood samples.
Do they give instructions of how to get the HVAC filter to
I
him?
just change it every 3 months and
No,
Get it to him.
Right, to give it to him.
He'll have somebody come
He'll
pick it up.
he'll have some.
Okay, so is there like a link within that article?
No, I'll have to ask him, because I
No.
have one to give him too. I don't know.
Okay.
I've
Maybe
got it,
that's-
but.
Maybe that's information that could be shared.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do this, but he also said, is it possible to get samples of people's cremains?
Remain?
No.
Cremains from
Good.
cremation?
No.
Or is it possible to actually access tissues from people who are deceased?
Nope.
And I said,
wonder
I
why.
don't think so.
Yeah, that is not unheard of.
No.
Way
I
beyond
don't
our
know how many people would even be willing to do that.
I don't think it's legal. I think
I-
the state
yeah.
has rules
Yeah.
against that.
To go back in.
It's all right.
Okay, and then also along the same lines, we had talked about the one restaurant that wasn't having the proper container for their takeouts. And so we just wanted to kind of put a general reminder out to everybody about the polystyrene ban. And
I did look at the regulation,
Yeah.
because we put it out actually a year ahead. So specifically, they could, exhaust their existing supply of containers.
right,
But at this point, if there are still people that have those things and are still using them, I'd recommend that, they should at least be given some kind of deadline. Whether it's 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months or something.
So there is, and this was why during the agenda meeting, I had asked for it to be added, is because there is an appeals process listed in the
Mhm.
regulations. So I did create an open, on our online permitting platform, a variance process similar to grease trap
Mhm.
variance requests. So our food inspectors, when they go out, if they see that, they're going to say, this is what you need to do if you wish to continue using these. And they have to spell out exactly why they can't use it, or even if it's just we have to exhaust our
Yeah.
supply. And it is a waiver that they do have to apply for annually.
Yeah, it is in the regulation.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, so I created the application to mirror the regulations.
Okay.
okay.
So that, I just wanted to bring to your attention that we may be getting some of those, where, the variances comes across.
Okay, and do we have any more public comments? Looks like all our
Nope.
public comments
Everybody
left.
is gone.
Anybody here have them? Okay, and our next meeting is virtual on 3/4/26 at 5:00.
And if anybody is interested enough, I can arrange for either Britta Lundberg, who's from Greater Boston Physicians for Social Responsibility, or Dr. Petros, to zoom into a meeting if you want to hear from them.
Well, now that he's got this grant, we probably should hear about what all it is that he's gonna do. Yeah,
Or I'm in contact with both of them, so I can do it.
yeah, probably, not next month, because we already have a guest speaker a couple of guest speakers for the 4th.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, okay. All right, if that's it, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
And a second.
20 minutes early.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Very good.